We'll see how that goes. Alright, we'll move over into HOTS now, but Infernal Shrines is the map selected from the side of NightShade. We have NightShade versus Snitches Get Stitches. And let's get this on the road. This is Division 2, by the way. So it should be an interesting game. But top two people on this map always for me is Dahaka and Gul'dan. Gul'dan for the wave clear potential and the clear on shrines, and Dahaka for the global presence as well as the clear in lanes and just being able to clear lanes fast and effectively, and then the CC as well. But we're looking at potentially a Vala ban here. Now, banning out Vala does mean that one of the strongest batteries for Ariel, as well as a big ranged damage dealer, is out. But they're going to actually switch that ban over to Greymane instead. So, a Greymane ban leads me to believe that they're looking at a tanky front line, some people with large health pools, because Greymane's ultimate, his heroic ability, Cursed Bullet, deals 40% of the current health. So now, if you use that on a full tank, that is a lot of damage. You're looking at, on some tanks, over 1,000 damage. So, just for, and it's a short cooldown. I think it's like a 20 or 30 second cooldown, so it is not very long at all. I don't believe it's too long at all, at least. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully, changing up my frame rate fixed the issue. Looking over to the bans on the side of NightShade, they will opt to ban out Dahaka here. They do not want to give away that global. This means that Uther is still available, and look at that. You see Uther immediately grabbed up. No hesitations there. But this does leave Ariel Gul'dan open now, and damage over time goes really, really well into Uther, because Uther has long cooldowns and is unable to heal that damage over time on multiple people efficiently, and immediately there you do see the Ariel Gul'dan pick up. So not too surprised there. So we'll see how that goes, and I changed my frame rate up a little, so I'm hoping to see that hopefully that changes it. The quality won't be 1080p, but it'll be 720, I think. So hopefully changing it. Let's see. Let's see what the bitrate I need. 2500. Yeah, so I was running 3500, and we'll change it to 3000. I changed it to 3K, so hopefully we'll see that. But now we're looking at Stitches Kerrigan. I love me some Kerrigan. Kerrigan very good on Infernal Shrines if you take the Q build. So that Q talent, not Ravage. Is it not Ravage? It could be called Ravage. I think it might be that. Or Impale or something like that. And essentially you go for the hopscotch build. And what this does is that your Q will reset if you kill a minion within 1.5 seconds, I believe, after queuing them, or if your Q kills them. You get a free reset on the talent. And there's talents that allow you to extend the range, regain health, return mana cost. I believe it's 75%. So you're able to skip between all of these different minions especially for the shrines here. You can jump between all of them. And then picking up Stitches here, they're looking at a hook follow-up with an Uther stun. NightShade gonna ban out Kael'thas. That means they are trying to get rid of as much wave clear as they can from the side of Snitches Get Stitches, which doesn't surprise me to actually see a Stitches here, now that I think about it. But they are looking at banning out Arthas. Now, Arthas reduces the attack speed of his opponents, so Kerrigan will have an issue with Arthas. But they are looking at banning out a tank here, most definitely. I think that is a solid idea, but they're thinking maybe about switching over to a new Barak now. Now, I think my bitrate is a little better. Or... But I do agree that a new Barak is probably the better ban, and that's exactly what they do. The reason being is that because if Kerrigan goes in with Maelstrom, a new Barak can cocoon her. Now that's a lot of damage gone from the side of Snitches. So they're going to be looking to get Kerrigan in on that back line, on the Gul'dan, on the Ariel, and try to remove them from the fight. Probably the Gul'dan is my guess, or it depends if they pick up another support or another backline hero. But we'll see Sonya come out. Sonya pretty good on the objective as well, but does need to be cautious of the Uther and Stitches stuns. Stitches being the hook, that is. That will remove her whirlwind. But also, Sonya very good for getting camps.
The crusade calls.
And we will see a Johanna here. Johanna very good on this map. Exceptional in grouping up the minions on the shrine. So this pretty much just brings everything together for Gul'dan to clear up, but now they are lacking a little bit of damage as they're looking at Gul'dan for that main source. Now Gul'dan's numbers are quite inflated because of the damage over time, so you do need to keep that in mind. But Johanna excellent for wave clear. Sonya good solo laner. Gul'dan wonderful for wave clear. So they're gonna probably be doing that 4-1 rotation, leaving Sonya alone in the top lane. Uther, Kerrigan, and Stitches very good on rotations as well, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Kerrigan and Uther rotating between the middle and top lane here, potentially looking to grab up Sonya. They will be needing to grab most likely a solo laner here, somebody who can do well against Sonya, and then another damage, probably ranged. So they're going to grab Jaina and Malthael. So Malthael will be their solo laner, as well as a ton of percent-based damage. So Sonya and Johanna are going to need to be careful up against Malthael. So I'm actually unsure of who wins that the solo lane 1v1. I think my frame rate is pretty good. It drops down quite a bit every about 2 minutes. Looks to be dropping, but going back into the pick, my guess is that we will see a ranged auto attacker. Vala is still available, and they do have Ariel. So if they do pick up Vala, Kerrigan's going to be looking to jump on Ariel here, remove all of the healing. He's going to absolutely need to be cautious of Sonya and Johanna. But we're going to see Falstad. Now, Falstad, not necessarily the best battery, but does have some good range damage. Most likely going to be an auto attack build here. Oh, I don't actually have my options. I did get a new overlay. I just forgot to test it up. But we will apply it after this game. But let's get on to game number 1. This is NightShade versus Snitches Get Stitches. Start up round number 1 over there on the Chair League site so they know that we are live. Oh, I love me some portrait synergy. Look at that. That's beautiful. I can appreciate that, guys. Okay. Division 2, Nightshade versus Snitches Get Stitches. Pretty generic comps here. RAL, Gul'dan, pretty standard, but let's get underway. Over here on the left-hand side, we have Nightshade. We have Kutoza playing Sonya, Briley on Falstad, Evan Fries on Ariel, Griff playing Gul'dan, and Rebrab on Johanna. Over here on the right-hand side, we have Snitches Get Stitches. We have Spectrama on Jaina, Speed Demon playing Malthael, Majesty on Uther, Bandito playing their mascot Stitches, and Jamster on Kerrigan. Both teams going for that 5v5 middle right now. You can see Gul'dan going for the Q quest here. Fell Flame quest there. Shoot a flame. Pretty standard quest. We're going to see the hook go out, but miss. A lot of damage already coming out from Gul'dan. They're going to be looking to go in for just a little bit of poking here. A lot of poke from the Malthael and Jaina most likely. Kerrigan is waiting for that opportunity to strike, but you see Falstad going up in that top lane, so Falstad will be the solo laner against Malthael, but notice Malthael goes to that bottom lane, so they are not opting to do that 4-man rotation. Oh, maybe they are. They're going to send Kerrigan up to that top lane. I think this is very interesting here. Looks to me that Snitches Get Stitches are not going with the standard 4-1 rotation. Johanna engaging in, going to be slowing a lot of the team. Jaina taking a lot of damage from Gul'dan already. That lane is... Oh, the hook coming out onto Gul'dan, but an excellent stun by Ariel to deny the Stitches re-engage. Alright, thanks. Thank you. Malthael pushing out quite a bit against Sonya, but as you can see, Sonya in that bottom lane against Malthael will probably have a little bit of issues, especially if Malthael pokes properly. The hook coming out on the Ariel, though. They're going to be rotating in to stun. A little bit of damage from Jaina there as well. You can see Kerrigan rotating down a little bit early. We'll need to get into position for that, but Falstad with the ability of his global, now Malthael is a little bit out of position, but Uther is there with the heals and the armor. The hook coming out will miss, unfortunately. They're going for that Kerrigan combo. Will land on the Gul'dan and take down the Gul'dan. This gives Snitches Get Stitches a little bit of an advantage here on this first shrine. And as you can see, Sonya and Falstad will remain in their respective lanes, trying to get as much soak as possible here, trying to reach level 7 before the opposing team. So Malthael will be zoning along with Uther here, but they're going to stun the Ariel. A little bit of damage? No. They will juke the Malthael Death Curtain there, as Kerrigan is cleaning up that shrine along with Jaina. Jaina gonna hearth for some mana here. Malthael at a little bit of low of health, but will use his abilities to get there. I think I saw a hook up in that middle lane onto the Sonya, but Sonya will walk away. Jaina rotating up to that top lane to deal with Falstad as well. While you see Malthael and Kerrigan, the two melee assassins down here in that bottom lane, but Stitches is rotating in now. Will be looking for a very aggressive hook. Unfortunately, no hook coming out, but Malthael is in a very bad position, is now taking lethal damage, will go down. Unfortunately, no backup in that push as they opted to go and counter the pushes of Sonya and Falstad. AFK Uther here sitting in that lane will be stunned by Sonya, but the stun coming out, or the hook rather, onto Johanna. She will walk away as per expected. Falstad chasing that Jaina now. Will back off. The 4-man rotation coming down onto the Kerrigan. Kerrigan is in a very bad position. Will take a lot of damage from Gul'dan and just go for that Kerrigan combo as a Death Wish. Will go down, unfortunately, which allows Nightshade to engage out on Snitch's siege camp here. Now, Uther might be able to get a little bit of a scout in here, but they do need to be cautious. They're going to be gauging into a 2v4. A lot of damage coming out from Sonya and Johanna. Good CC there. We'll take Uther down to about 25%. They're going to be looking for a lot of damage coming out of Gul'dan, but unfortunately not enough to take down Stitches or Uther. Uther forced to Hearth here as Stitches taps, and the hook does miss now. Malthael coming up to help clear the camp. Jaina and Falstad dueling it out in the top lane here. Both are quite low, but Jaina taking quite a bit of damage from Falstad's lightning rod. Will be forced to tap here as Falstad remains in the lane. Ariel soloing that camp, but Johanna and Gul'dan rotating in to give them a hand. Stitches will be looking for a hook here. Very aggressive play. Gonna hook, but not too far away. They're gonna be engaging out on that Gul'dan. The Kerrigan combo coming out will destroy the Gul'dan. Johanna gonna be retreating up to her middle fort as Ariel rotates back down to the bottom, looking for somebody to help guide her as her main battery is gone now. This gives Stitches the advantage again on this shrine, as they did remove the main shrine clear. Four members now rotating up from that bottom lane. Stitches will be in position to help delay them, but Johanna aggressively rotating in. Falstad even more aggressive, will get hooked and dodge the Kerrigan combo with the barrel roll. Stitches now taking 50% damage as an excellent corruption comes out onto the Jaina. The heal from Uther missing Jaina, but this will allow NightShade to take control of the shrine. They have all 5 members there, but now we see 5 members rotating in from the side of Snitches. They're going to be looking to grab at least one person before they get in. They only need 8 more, and that's exactly what happened. Sonya taking a lot of damage, but will whirlwind in. The Kerrigan combo will be dodged. Johanna going extremely aggressive. The hook coming out will miss the Falstad. They only need 6 more people here on the objective. Kerrigan will go in to die, as well as Uther. Not enough heals from the armor, but there it is. The heals are just enough. He is successful in saving his life, but unfortunately not the Kerrigans, as they only needed 6 more, were unable to get those 6, and are now going to need to retreat behind that objective. But the stun coming out from the Johanna will be able to allow their Punisher to jump prematurely before the wall. This will guarantee that they get this wall and most likely this fort. Stitches is now backing, which means their main source of pick potential will not be there. A falling sword coming out from the Johanna, but a beautiful cleanse will stop the stun onto the Malthael as this middle fort will be taken down. The Punisher now going down. Stitch's hook on cooldown most likely. Will be trying to interrupt that Johanna, but she does back away. Stitch is now getting stunned, but will be healed by Uther. The hook coming out onto Sonya, not the ideal selection, but the double Kerrigan combo. An excellent Aegis and Horrify, as Jaina's damage will be negated, but Sonya is quite low, is now taken down by the combination of Stitches and Kerrigan. They're going to be trying to chase out that Ariel. The hook being used, actually potentially saving her, but that is not the case, as a ton of burst damage coming out from Jaina and Kerrigan will successfully pick up the Ariel kill. This will allow Snitches to go in and grab their siege camp over here, as Malthael remains in that top lane, trying to get as much soak as they can. They are a level behind at this point, which means getting those 2 kills will grant them a little bit of the experience that they do need. They're going to be looking to engage out on this Gul'dan, though. The Stitches hook needs to be precise here, as there are minions in the way. If there's a time for the hook, it is now. But this will allow Gul'dan to just walk away uncontested. And during this time, nobody contesting that camp there in the bottom left. Jaina clearing the middle here, as 3 members from the side of NightShade are in that lane. Kerrigan and Uther are going to be grabbing that bottom camp, as you see Malthael solo that one, will be forced to Hearth, unlike Sonya here, who easily grabs it and then goes down to help their teammates. The hook from Stitches coming out will be unsuccessful in hitting anybody. But this siege camp will be pushing. Unfortunately for Snitches, the objective is in that bottom lane, which means their siege camp will get little to no value here. The hook coming out will unfortunately miss. That would have been a great pick. Johanna will be zoning for her team here, as well as Sonya sitting in that bush. Objective is started up by NightShade, though. Ariel and Gul'dan will be cleaning up that objective quite quickly. As you can see, Kerrigan and Jaina will be trying to get as much poke in there as they can. Surprisingly, we do not see the hopscotch build coming from Kerrigan here. The Gust being used quite aggressively, but will put them into a 3-man falling sword. An excellent Ring of Frost hitting 3 members. They will be able to take down the Stitches, the Kerrigan, and the Uther with an excellent Fell Flame from the Gul'dan. Being able to pick up that Uther. Uther will top off the Jaina. Malthael sitting in middle lane. I don't believe he rotated down to help the team, but Falstad is rotating up now to get that middle soak as Malthael rotates down to help Jaina defend this middle Punisher, sorry, the bottom Punisher rather. Arcane Punisher means that most likely this fort will be going down. Malthael is trying to bait this out, but if that is the case, he will most likely fall. Luckily for him, there's no follow-up damage other than the fort being taken down here. The remaining members of Snitches Get Stitches are back up, but they are 2 levels down. They do need to reach level 13 here. They're going to be looking to get a hook. Snitches getting jumped, a lot of damage coming out from the Gul'dan. Johanna is clearing up that bottom tower, but they do defeat the Punisher. Unfortunately, no hook being able to pick anybody off. Now, this siege camp is up. Sonya might want to engage on that. Malthael will be looking to engage their Stitches, scouting it out. There is nobody there. Are they looking to grab this? If there's a time to fight, it is now, as they are still within that 1 talent tier. They are on the same talent tier, rather. Level 16, very close for the side of NightShade. They're going to be looking to grab this as soon as they can, rather. But Stitches will be looking for that super aggressive hook. Johanna is not the ideal hero to be hooking, though. Sonya going to be in quite the dangerous position. Malthael coming out looking to grab onto that Ariel, but little do they know there's a lot of people there as well. The Aegis coming out as well as the Horrify. The Divine Storm being used on Malthael. They will successfully be able to take down what looks to be 3 members, but the excellent Corruption coming out from Gul'dan will take down Uther as well. So Johanna, Sonya, and Ariel going down for the trade of Uther. This means both frontline heroes and the supports are down for either teams. This will now give time for Snitches Get Stitches to get as much EXP as they can, clear out as many lanes as they can, and capture as many camps as possible. So as you can see, they grabbed this bottom one, but unfortunately, these 2 middle ones aren't up for another 1 minute 50 seconds, but their bruisers camps, both bruisers, are now up. But the objective is up again in that top lane. Malthael having a little bit of issues against the Falstad here. Needs to be cautious, but Uther is now rotating in to help. That siege camp will most likely be successful in taking down that bottom fort if the minion wave does rotate in quickly. You see both teams grabbing those bruisers, but the objective is in that top lane, so they will most likely be taken down by the other respective teams. Ariel opting to hat the Falstad here. Quite an interesting decision, in my opinion, as Gul'dan will be the primary source, as currently you are missing hope here, as Falstad is sitting there in the bush not doing anything. So ideally you want to be seeing as much hope as often as possible. But as you can see, Snitches Get Stitches will be clearing up that lane as soon as possible, but this gave a massive lead to the side of NightShade on the objective. They're going to be looking to gauge out on that Johanna. Malthael in quite an aggressive spot. The Falstad Gust quite aggressive into the corner. The Horrify pushing Uther away into the team. This means Uther will go down. Malthael popping his ult will go in on 4 members. Jaina quite low, but is able to take down the engaging Sonya. This is a 1-for-1 trade currently. Malthael is very low, looking to get some heals, is now into the middle of all of them, will be taken down as well. Jaina will be taken down, and so will Stitches, it looks like, but Falstad getting an excellent Aegis will be able to walk away. This is a 4-for-2 trade here in favor of NightShade. This means NightShade will be able to grab this Punisher and be able to push down this top 4. So Falstad rotating down to clear up the camp. This fort is living on a sliver of health. Most likely will go down to the minion waves now. Top 4 going down here. Middle wave will be pushing down that wall here. Kerrigan needs to bait that jump on the other side of her wall. Does need to be very cautious. That's what they will do. As you can see, 5 members have now backed up. They're going to be looking to engage out on Snitches Get Stitches camp here.
Blue team's Punisher has fallen.
They're going to grab that camp and most likely rotate over to theirs as 5 members from the side of Snitches rotate into the middle lane, looking to clear up those camps that they just got. Now, these camps are more of just a hassle at this point. The Snitches hook being used to hook the minion. Now, I find that quite interesting is because it's a 16-second cooldown. And with a 16-second cooldown, you don't want to just be using that as often as possible. But a very aggressive gust will push Malthael and Stitches, and with the beautiful Horrify zoning out the Malthael, but the Divine Shield and the ult from Malthael, or onto Malthael rather. Stitch is going to be able to walk away, but I can't say the same for Uther or for Malthael now, or Kerrigan, unfortunately. And as you can see, that is a 4-man wipe. What an excellent setup from the Falstad, pushing the tank and Malthael into 3 members. This will now allow for NightShade, who has already reached level 20, to be able to take down this middle keep. And I wouldn't suggest ending here. Now, they do have a 20-second window. I don't think they'll be able to end. You know what? Maybe they can. Actually, with their damage here, with Gul'dan and with Falstad and Sonya, they're going to be successful in ending this, I believe. So they still got 7 seconds. No, they've got plenty of time. 10%, 0%. That is game. What an excellent Gust Horrify combo there. Zoning out the Stitches and the Malthael. This pushes Uther over into an odd position, so he's being forced to use his Divine Shield very early into that game, into that fight there. So the Divine Shield not being used at a very in need kind of time, so it prevented the Horrify on Malthael, but Malthael was being pushed over, I believe, into like his side of the map. So I don't see that as being a super useful Divine Shield. And also wasting the cooldown of the hook, I feel, as I was explaining earlier, a 16-second cooldown needs to be saved. You can't just spam that, unfortunately. So it's a very important cooldown. You need to treat it as a pseudo-heroic, I feel. I wouldn't be using it on minions unless you're looking to, pull something like a minion out of a camp that the other team is grabbing. But MVP Gust goes to Falstad here. Good heals and Aegises from the side of Ariel. As you can see, almost double the healing there. Getting very close, 1.5 times greater, approximately. They're going to look to grab the map up here now. Let's switch back over to this. I didn't mention it earlier, but thank you, Kina TV, for the subscription using Twitch Prime. That's awesome. Enjoy the emote. You get to use the emote now. Hopefully my frame rate is holding up. It looks like it's not too bad, but it's dropping down quite low every now and then, which is a little frustrating. So I'm going to have to take a look at it. No, I don't need to do this chart. Weird. I'll just close this up and I'll look at it later. Alright, they are looking at picking up a map right now. As we move over into round number 2. 7% of frames is not too bad in comparison, so... Okay, let's do this. Go into output. Let's drop this down to 2700 and apply that and click OK. Yeah, like, I'm not even doing anything and it's dropping frames. They're gonna look at Battlefield of Eternity here. Alright, Battlefield of Eternity being picked up from the side of Snitches Get Stitches. Let's change this in here. Both teams have 5 people checking in. That's good. Hello everybody, thank you for tuning in. See, like, massive frame rate drops for no reason apparently. I don't know why that is. Let's see, only 7% in comparison to the past 20-something percent. But it looks like... oh boy! Alrighty, we got Battlefield of Eternity being selected from the side of Snitches Get Stitches, which means that NightShade has first pick and ban. In my opinion, some of the strongest picks on this map are Vala, Tyrande, Malthael, and Greymane. So those 4 are probably my top picks for this map, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see those 3 of those 4 being picked and banned. Now, Tyrande is a little bit more of a niche pick, so probably won't see her in the form of picks or bans. But it looks to me like we're going to be seeing an Uther ban coming out here, just to deny that first pick Uther. Now, Dahaka loses a lot of value on this map, I feel, as it's only a 2-lane map, but keeping in mind that the gap between the lanes are still quite large. So they do need to be wary of that Dahaka can still get a little bit of value here. But as you can see, Vala being banned here, trying to deny that first pick Vala, as her Q build can be absolutely devastating to the Immortal here. Whew, headphones almost fell off. Alright, they're looking at picking up their first pick. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something like a Greymane. That's probably my ideal first pick here. Other than maybe something like a Li Ming or an Anubarak. But with Uther and Vala being banned, Ariel not really a good combo here with Gul'dan. So I think Greymane is probably the most realistic, but they're actually gonna first pick Ariel. Now, I think that this pick is... I can't say that this is a very strong first pick. And my reasoning is because Vala has been banned. Gul'dan doesn't really get too much value here, as because this map is a single target damage map. So you're going to be looking for people that can deal a lot of single target damage quickly. So as I was saying, like, Malthael deals percent-based damage, which makes him valuable. You've got Vala's Q build, which deals a lot of damage to non-heroic people. So, like, the Immortal, which is non-heroic. Artanis's, his level 1 trait allows his blades, his twin blades, to, deal increased damage. And as you can see, we can see Li Ming and Greymane, which are both very strong at dealing single target damage. So Li Ming most likely going to be picking up Seeker at level 7. This is just a bonus if all 3 of her arcane missiles hit the Immortal, which means that you're going to get even more single target damage, and that's exactly what you get out of Greymane, who can chunk like massive auto attacks, plus his W, which allows him to increase his auto attack rate, which means they're going to be looking to win that team fight. Win that race there. Now, for the side of NightShade, they're still lacking that race potential. Now, they only have their first pick, but it doesn't really sign that they have that race potential, even with Lunara. Now, Lunara does have an ability where her poison does, I think, 250% or 150% more damage to non-heroics. So, it's not too bad, but it does pair well with Ariel. So, there's where you're going to see a lot of your value from the Ariel pick. But I think picking Ariel first was a little bit not a strong pick, in my opinion. Now, Anubarak is, in my opinion, purely a counter pick to Li Ming. The spell damage, the base spell damage, the Nerubian armor level 1, plus the Beetles blocking Li Ming's skill shots. They're looking to deny a lot of Li Ming value. And I don't think there's any way around that if you pick up Li Ming and don't ban out Anubarak. So that's unfortunately what you're going to see here. But they're going to go for the Sonya ban here. They're looking at banning out a solo laner in that top lane, as they are lacking a solo laner currently. They did go for Sonya last game as well. Oh, excuse me. Majesty cheering for the side of Snitches. You're playing, man! Majesty is on the side of Snitches get Stitches. I didn't even get to hear the boing ba boing. That makes me kind of sad. Feels bad, man. That's okay. They're going to look to be banning out the Dahaka ban. So, now, I think Dahaka is an interesting pick on this map, because he doesn't really do the same thing you would want on a 3-lane map. But because the lanes are so far apart, I guess you kind of get a little bit of value from him in the global presence. But again, I'm not too sure about that pick, or that ban rather. But nonetheless, is still a strong hero that if you don't want to deal with, it could be a comfort ban. And again, I would probably end up seeing myself ban out Dahaka as well. So we're going to be seeing 2 picks on the side here of Snitches get Stitches. And they're going to be looking to pick up potentially a tank and a support here. Now, Malthael and Stitches are available. Sorry, not Malthael, Malfurion and Stitches are available. Both provided a great wombo combo with the hook root. And we will see Malfurion and Artanis. Now, they're picking up Artanis here for that single target damage. Malfurion provides a route which screams Stitch's last pick. In my personal opinion, this screams Stitch's last pick. Now, I think that NightShade needs to pick up a double support here. But if they do so, they lose a lot of single target damage. And as of now, they are losing the race on the Immortal here. So I feel like NightShade is going to be looking for a very defensive, like, push them away comp, and, or like maybe a pick-off comp. So stealing Stitches here is not a bad idea. I think it's very strong because it allows you to, you know, hopefully pick somebody off. You have the CC with the Nubarak, and then I think another support, and there it is, Tyrande. So Tyrande's going to give them a little bit more of that race potential. And Arthas will deny a lot of the Artanis and Greymane damage. So as you can see, they're going to be... They'll most likely lose this race. I don't think they have the damage they need. But Tyrande will help make that up in the form of making the Immortal 25% more vulnerable. But this last pick... Oh, so Majesty is actually sitting this one out. Alright, that's cool. Why am I dropping so many fucking frames? But in my personal opinion, I honestly think we're going to be seeing... we'll be seeing Stitches here. Because they are... Oh, God, excuse me. Whew. They are lacking a true tank here, as they only have solo Artanis. Now, there's a lot of other tanks you can go for. You know, Muradin, ETC... But I do believe Stitches is their kind of signature-esque tank. And it wouldn't surprise me to see that combo with the Malfurion. But they're actually going to go with Lily. Now, I really don't know how I feel about this pick. And the reason being here is because now you lack a massive front line. You massively lack a front line here, going in against Arthas and Anubarak and Tyrande. But, on the other hand, you guys have a ton of damage. So, I'm interested to see how this goes. But, Now, Andoran coming in, rotating in for Majesty here, obviously wasn't on the same page with the portrait synergy. So, I won't lie, I'm a little let down, but that's okay. But we can get right into this game. Over here on the left-hand side, we have NightShade in the blue. We got Griff on Lunara, Rebrab on Anubarak. Oh, I don't think I can talk here if I'm a spectator. Briley on Tyrande. Evan Fry's on once again on Ariel, and Cutoza on Arthas. Over here on the right-hand side, we have Bandito playing Arthas, Jamster on Malfurion, Spectrama on Lily, Andoran on Li Ming, and Speed Demon on the Greymane. So as you can see, they opted to rotate 4 members down to the bottom with Lily up in that top lane. Li Ming trying to get a little bit of poke damage a little early. Will destroy the Wisp from Lunara. We'll be scouting out the Tyrande and the Anubarak though, but they do have 5 members here. Anubarak getting a little bit out, will be stunned and rooted. A lot of damage coming out. That is most likely Artanis down, and that is the case. But nevertheless, Lily getting that EXP in that top lane. Now, I think personally that Snitches needed to be a little bit more defensive here. They know that they don't have all 5 people here. So they do need to be a little bit more defensive, not so aggressive. But Artanis will be rejoining the fray down here. A lot of damage coming up from Li Ming onto that Ariel. Artanis looking to engage. Will get the engage out onto Lunara, but will be stunned into spaces, or rather in place. God. A lot of damage coming up from Greymane, but will be engaged upon by the Anubarak. Artanis and Arthas. I'm gonna mix those guys up all game. Damage coming out from the Greymane. He's going to be looking at the swap coming out. No swap. Could have been potentially dangerous for the Artanis. Do we see amateur opponent here? We do. An excellent stun by Anubarak, followed up by an excellent Tyrande stun. Greymane getting quite low, but the root from Malfurion will be enough to delay that. As you can see, Lunara and Anubarak going to be looking to engage out on this right away. But in my personal opinion, the race goes to the side of Snitches. That is if they can time these properly. So unfortunately, they did need to rotate a little bit further, meaning that they had a lot less time. But as you can see, that didn't matter. They are already at that halfway mark. As you can see, both are very even. So they definitely win this if they play it properly. And as you can see, these numbers going down, it will be close. But as predicted, Snitches will be successful in taking that down immediately. So, despite having to rotate a little bit further and having to fight against the Tyrande damage, they still have that increased damage, and they don't even have Li Ming's Seeker yet. Level 4 now being reached by both teams. Lili versus Arthas in that bottom lane. Artanis playing quite aggressively here. They don't have anybody to pull him over the wall, so they don't need to be too worried about that. Excellent stun coming out from the Tyrande. She's got to be pretty far on those stacks already. 6 out of the 20 she needs, but only at 3 minutes in. It's 2 a minute. It's not too bad at all. The stun coming out will not be successful, but Ariel getting rooted. Anubarak in quite a bad position, will be forced to go either into the stun of the Immortal or die, and both of those ended in death, I'll tell you that much. So they're going to be able to grab this fort as well as the kill here. Or at least, yes, okay, there we go. It goes down. So they're going to pick up a fort and the kill and rotate up to that top camp as we have Lili versus Arthas in this bottom lane. Now, Ariel and Lunara will be sticking to each other like glue. They're going to be looking to clear up that top objective. So, now, here's the deal. We should see Lili rotating back up here, seeing these 4 members go back down to the bottom lane. Keeping this in mind that you apply the least amount of lane pressure in a solo lane. So, most likely, we will see the Lili rotate up top, but rather we're going to see Artanis stick in that solo lane, leaving Lili in the 4-man. They're going to be trying to bait out the Arthas, but Arthas does have vision of Greymane here. Lili going to check out that camp. Q build coming, sorry, not Q build, Q build from Greymane, but a wind build, an E build from Lili here. She's looking at damage with a little bit of extra supports. I would not be surprised to see Jugs come out, but Malfurion does supply a lot of healing on his own. Level 7 Seeker is what we see, but we do see Charged Blast, so you can see very, very single target Li Ming here. But the objective spawning very soon. Lili and Greymane going to be looking to engage out on to their Bruiser camp here as Anubarak goes into get rooted. He's going to be engaging out on that camp. That is a 1v5. Anubarak has no escape as he used it to engage, but an excellent stun by the Tyrande will be able to save the Anubarak as Greymane looks to engage, but Anubarak and Lunara going down as both of them are very low. Excellent damage coming out here. But this is in a perfect spot for the side of Snitches Get Stitches as they pick up that 1 kill, which is their the main source of damage for the side of NightShade here, as well as getting that top pressure. So unless they need to opt to defend here or to clear that top lane. Otherwise, that top lane will start pushing up to what is a keep wall already. Lunara going to be rejoining the battle here. An excellent stun from Tyrande will deny the escape, but a lot of damage coming out from Li Ming. Li Ming going to be using that teleport to juke the Lunara attack, but Artanis is in a bad spot there, will be taken down, but Anubarak is getting quite low. Now, Snitches have quite the lead here. Very, very aggressive play from the Li Ming as she is looking to get a little bit of poke damage, but she is getting very low, but luckily she does have 2 supports, but an excellent stun from the Tyrande will secure that kill on Li Ming. That's what you get for being supremely aggressive. Artanis rotating back in now to help the team. As you see Lunara go back to defend that bruiser, as it already got one of the towers. They're going to be looking to engage out onto this Arthas, who did get rooted from the Malfurion. Will deny a lot of that healing, as Ariel is a lot of burst healing. That is an excellent talent pickup here, in my opinion. That one kill on Arthas will allow Snitch to get Stitches to pick up the rest of that. Immortal. As you can see, it has a ton of shields, which means this fort is most likely going down here. Let's see how far Tyrande is on that. She is at 11. Greymane sitting at 5 of the 15 he needs. So Arthas is going up to defend that top lane, which means it's a 5v4 in this bottom lane, plus a full health Immortal. Pretty much a full health Immortal, level 10 being reached. They're going to be popping that out onto the Ariel, forcing Ariel away from her generator, but still within range, because that range is pretty big. But it does force NightShade back. So they're going to be looking to poke as much as they can here. Excellent route coming out, but these towers will go down. What do we see here? We do see Water Dragon, I believe. Yes, we do, from Lily. Ubrak will be able to avoid the stun and deny the dash warp prism from the Anubarak, from the Artanis. God, so many A's in this game. But they will actually be able to grab this keep, as this Immortal is already being, is rather at quite the amount of health, but will finally be taken down.
The demon's attack has failed. Yet
you can see Greymane rotating down to this camp with Artanis. Those guys will be able to grab that quite easily on their own, as these 3 members can probably rotate and grab this camp here, but they're going to opt to clean that lane up. Greymane and Artanis will back off from that camp, as they do see 5 members rotating in from the side of NightShade. So NightShade will go in and grab that camp. Artanis will be scouting that out, but an Owl does scout him out, and Arthas will rotate in to block for them. Artanis and Greymane do need to be cautious here, though, as one overextend just like that could be the case, but luckily they are able to avoid the stuns and the root from Arthas. So you see Greymane completing his quest there. Not too bad, but Lily very, very extended with the camp. Does need to be cautious, as Lunara, Anubarak, Ariel are all very close, but Arthas and Tyrande will be rotating up, spooking her away. She will back off. Snitches get Stitches, will opt to go and grab their bruiser camp just as NightShade did. The objective is coming up in 20 seconds. Greymane, seeing that Owl come by, is afraid that the opposing team might look to engage here, and will go to cap that, which gives them a little bit less value here, as the opposing team is able to clear that as soon as they can. But level 13 being reached from the side of Snitches gets Stitches, but NightShade looking to engage aggressively will stun the Artanis. Artanis is quite low, does need to get some heals. Is he gonna survive? No, he won't. And we also see the Anubarak go down from what I believe to be Greymane go for the throat. But I don't, yes, okay, I did see the cooldown go. I thought it was full, but it wasn't. So this is a 1-for-1 trade But keeping in mind that the frontline hero for Snitches Get Stitches is taken down, so they're looking to engage out onto the Malfurion. Malfurion getting stunned from Tyrande is now being taken down quite low, but Arthas and Greymane are looking not in such a great spot. The root coming out from Arthas, they're going to be looking to pick up that Greymane. Is he able to? No. Unfortunately, the Aegis going out, but an excellent Tyrande stun is able to pick up the Greymane here, and that is a large source of damage for the side of Snitches Get Stitches. Artanis looking to engage out here, but little do they know that Arthas is right there in the bush. The Water Dragon coming out will land onto the Arthas, but Arthas getting some shields here. Getting swapped, but Artanis being healed from Malfurion will be able to avoid death. So, Snitches Get Stitches have already taken this down to 50%. You can see that they're both supports here, or the members have gone back to tap, and they're playing very defensively. They're going to have to wait for the 5 members of their team here, but they are going very aggressively. What happened last time, Li Ming? What happened last time? You can see Arthas engaging out onto the Li Ming. Now Anubarak in quite the position to help him, and that's exactly what he will do. They're looking to get some more roots and stuns on here. The Malfurion Poppin' Tranquility won't be enough to save Li Ming. The Water Dragon going out, and Greymane jumping back in, but keeping in mind this keep is now being attacked by what is 2 catapults. They're going to need to do as much damage here as they can. Greymane looking to engage on that Anubarak, but a wonderful Tyrande stun coming out to hopefully deny the engage, or the escape rather, from the side of Snitches. Now you see the the core shields have almost been completely taken out. They will be soon taking core damage, but Greymane, luckily healed from the Lily and the Malfurion, will avoid death here. Artanis gonna be looking to grab a swap here potentially. The Water Dragon coming out will land onto the Anubarak. The swap will miss. The stun from the Immortal hitting the Arthas. They're looking to engage. An excellent engage from the Greymane will be able to take down the Ariel and the Arthas. This is exactly what Snitches Get Stitches was looking for. This now forces Anubarak back to clear up that bottom wave. For those of you that don't know, this objective pushes the wave with the least amount of siege damage, and that is the top lane here. So you will see the objective, which is a fairly healthy Immortal. It's about nowhere near as many shields as it had last time, as you can see. So that will be pushing down this top keep, which has taken a little bit of damage already. Lunara, Arthas, and Anubarak coming in from a very aggressive position. They're looking to get at least 1 or 2 picks here. The wonderful stun taking down the Greymane. Lily very low, but the Artanis beam is taking down the Arthas, but a wonderful stun from the Tyrande and the Ariel will be able to pick up the Malfurion, and now Artanis is in a bad position. 3 members going down, but keep in mind this keep is down now, and the Immortal is onto the core. They will probably suffer a little bit of core damage here, most likely anywhere between 40% is my guess, but it is being burned down quite quickly. Each attack from the Immortal taking a chunk of damage, and that's, see, look at that, 50%, 45%, but look at that, Ariel getting caught out of position here, will be picked up. They do trade that 3 for 1, I guess, but the remaining members are up now. So this is a 5v4 scenario. This will allow Greymane to go down and grab that camp solo, and let Li Ming and Lily, the Lees, go up here and grab this top siege camp, as Artanis is rotating around, looking what to do. Greymane looking to get out of there as soon as he possibly can, and that is the case. Anubarak and Lunara will be able to clear up that as soon as they can. Look at the Anubarak getting engaged upon from the Greymane. Arthas going to be looking to pick up that Greymane as well, but is now on his own. Anubarak at about 50% health. That top wave is now pushing quite a hefty push up there now. As you can see, Ariel will be the one to rotate up there as Tyrande is backing. They're going to be forced to defend that that top lane as they are 44% into their core. This Owl is going out exactly where you know where they are, hitting what I believe 3 members of the team. They're going to delay that cap, it looks like, probably leaving at least 1 member there. Looks to me like Greymane and Li Ming will be there. They're trying to delay this cap as far as they can up until this is started up, which means they get as much push out of it as they possibly can. So as I said, they have the better race. They're going to use that ability onto the Artanis beam onto Arthas, who is easily able to walk away from it. But they've already taken down a chunk of the Immortal's health, but they're looking to engage out on the Lily. Lily getting stunned and stunned again. Will be able to walk away with a lot of heals. And there you go, Greymane, go for the throat, able to take down the Anubarak. Whoever's in that Aegis is taking a lot of damage as well. Will be able to walk away despite the Greymane, but a stun from the Tyrande will be unsuccessful in grabbing, I believe, the Lily. Almost going down there. Li Ming looking to get a bunch of damage in here with her Seeker. She's got 5 of those missiles now, and for every 3 that make contact, they will be doing damage. You can see she went for Glass Cannon here. That core is under attack, forcing a couple of members back there to defend it, but you have one choice here now. It's either to defend your core or defend this. This is an all or nothing, as you most likely will not live to see the end of this Immortal, but Immortal will be successfully grabbed from Snitches. There's a lot of damage coming out. They're going to be looking to grab this Lily. Lily goes down. Artanis looking to engage or escape here now. Will opt to not dash, probably for the better. Greymane looking for a little bit of poke damage. Will avoid the root, but is looking to engage out onto the Arthas. No go for the throat. Will be knocked back from the Ariel. He's looking to engage. A lot of damage coming out from Li Ming. The Disintegrate will be successful in picking up that Arthas. This means it's a 5v4 plus a full health Immortal. Lunara in quite the dangerous position now as Artanis is coming in. Artanis will pop his Purifier Beam onto the Lunara here. Keep in mind, Lunara has a faster movement speed than anybody else here. So Lunara is probably the worst target for that, but they're going to be able to pick up the Tyrande, who is very, very far behind right over here, as this core will go down purely to the Immortal, making this a 1-1 series. Alright, that means Snitches get Stitches get this game. So many goddamn frame rate drops. What the hell? Alright, we are moving into game number 3 here. Alright, looks like we will be seeing Cursed Hollow being selected here. Alright. Cursed Hollow, update the rounds. We need Snitches Get Stitches to check in. Alrighty. So it looks like Cursed Hollow being selected. Who are we seeing here? Speed Demon, Spectrama. Mandarin Bendito. Cool. Alrighty. Okay. Looks to me like we're going to be getting underway. Very, very soon. Whew. What an intense series right now. Alrighty. Looks like we will be starting up very, very soon. Alright. Alright, thank you, Jamsters, for the follow. Greatly appreciated. I feel bad for, like, the shitty quality because, like, I haven't had any problems in the past, and then I changed the modem. But we are going to be starting up onto Cursed Hollow here. Let's get this underway. Snitches Get Stitches have the first pick, first ban for this game. And they're looking to ban out Ariel right off the bat here. They do not want to face that Ariel. This does leave Dahaka open for them, though, unless, which I believe will be banned from the side of NightShade here. They are waiting on this first ban for a while, but they will go for that Ariel ban. First ban coming up from the side of NightShade. My guess is that we'll see Dahaka being banned here. Other than that, you risk probably losing Uther here, if that's who they plan, because you'll lose either Dahaka or Uther. And if you ban out one, you lose the other. If you don't ban out either, then you get one. And that might be the case they go for here. Excuse me. Potentially no ban coming out. Muradin. Muradin ban. Something tells me this is a panic ban. Just a hunch. But, or one of the, I don't, yeah, so that was a misclick, yeah. There you go. That is exactly what I thought. They did let it go all the way to the last second. They're debating on remaking it here, which I honestly don't think. I'll just play Gallstad. He is totally unrelated. Okay. But we will see an Uther Greymane. Okay, so it looks like they will be agreeing that the ban on Muradin is indeed a Falstad ban, despite the unlimited timeout and then the wrong dwarf. So, gentleman's agreement here, though. It's fair. It's a good move from the side of Snitches Get Stitches. But Uther Greymane being picked, pretty standard picks, I'd say. Or at least Uther. And Greymane pairs very well with Uther. But Greymane loses, I feel like, loses a little bit of cocktail value here. So, I'm curious to see how this goes. But two more picks coming out. Oh boy! Excuse me. Two more picks coming out from the side of Snitches Get Stitches. Thank you, and Vala and Stuka. Sorry, and Darina from the side of Snitches Get Stitches. Or Andarina. Andarina. There we go. I got it. But Vala Stukov coming out. Stukov, a very good healer, but I find you need to be grouped up to at least spread it. So somebody who can take advantage of grouped up enemies, like Kael'thas, could potentially be a pick that we see coming out from the side of NightShade. So that would not surprise me. But we're looking at a ban here from the side of NightShade, and they're going to be banning out a new Barak. Now, banning out a new Barak here I think is interesting. As you can see, that was the real ban. I think banning out a Nubarak here is pretty interesting in the sense that you have the next pick. So if a Nubarak was still on the table, I think picking a Nubarak would have been a smarter play, because now you've limited the tank hero pool even more, because now that Falstad is banned out, it means that Muradin is also technically banned out, which limits the tank hero pool even more. And Muradin is a great tank, is an excellent filler for any team that's missing a full tank. So you're not able to play this. But they're gonna go for the Johanna band. I think Johanna is an interesting band here, but nonetheless is still fairly solid with blinds. If they're looking at Vala as being their main source of damage here. We'll most likely be seeing a tank and another hero. I was going with more of like a melee hero in the form of Sonya, but Tassadar online coming out probably to support the gray main. Most likely we'll be seeing a offensive Tassadar with the auto attack talent at level 1. That quest. Let's see if I can do this. Options. Observer and replay. Observer interface. This one. Accept. Let's try this. I haven't seen it yet, so we're testing this, guys. This is a test.
Snitches want to play.
And Ariana. Yeah. See, yeah, I agree. I don't think Ando inspects picks. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to see a Stitches and a Tassadar come out. Stitches is a fairly solid tank. Will pair well with Uther stuns. And potentially Tassadar force walls to deny an escape. So they're going to be looking to pick up Vala here. As on the hook, as the hook target, rather. Sorry. 2 final picks, probably another front line. Muradin being banned, Stitches and a Nubarak, or Nubarak being banned, as well as Johanna with Stitches being picked. Oh god, the yawns! Probably something like an ETC, maybe? Maybe even a Garrosh. We might even see Garrosh here. But we will see Leoric and Zagara. So Zagara will be their solo laner. Now, I think Zagara is an interesting pick because you'll probably be laning against Tassadar. And Tassadar, with his trait, with Oracle, will be able to find, or will be able to show the location of Zagara's tumors. So Zagara loses a little bit of value there, and a little bit of survivability as well, as it grants, and damage too, because it grants 20% auto attack range, 20% armor, or 10% auto attack range, I think it's 20%, and 20% movement speed, so I think it's like all those. And I just think that's like a huge amount of Smash Varian and Li Ming, you were incorrect, my friend. I'm sorry. Let's see, the final pick coming out will be Abathur. So they are going a very, very, very focused build on Greymane here. So they're going to be trying to keep Greymane alive for as long as possible. And that's what Uther Divine Shield, Tassadar Shields, and Abathur Hats and Clones will be for. So I look forward to seeing this game. This should be a very interesting one. Cursed Hollow, very big map. But let's get into it. Game number 3. We have NightShade versus Snitches Get Stitches. This is Division 2. This should be a very, very interesting game. Alright, let's get this game on the road. I don't actually know if the thing worked properly. So over here on the left-hand side in the blue, we have NightShade. We got Rebrab on Stitches. Briley playing Greymane. Evan Fries on Uther. Kutoza on Tassadar, and Griff on Abathur. And over here on the right-hand side in the red, we have Snitches get Stitches. Majesty playing Stukov, and Dorian on Dahaka. Bandito on Leoric. Spectrama on Zagara, and Speed Demon on Vala. We see a 4v5 in that middle lane because Abathur going to grab that vision there, and then we'll go to that top hand lane. As you can see, the Oracle going out will take down one of Zagara's tumors already. Alright, I am curious to see if this overlay worked. I don't think it did. But Zagara and Vala rotating off to their respective lanes. The hook coming out, landing on Leoric. Not the ideal target, but as you can see, that is their blow-up mechanic. They're going to be looking for a Stitches hook, followed up by a Uther stun, and then the Greymane die. But Greymane now being chased down by Stukov and Dahaka. Vala going to be missing that initial grab here. They're going to be looking to apply a little bit of damage here in that bottom lane, as you've seen Zagara versus Tassadar in that top lane, as expected here. Stukov checking both of those bushes for the mines, will unfortunately tank them, but is able to heal it up. Alright, Dahaka engaging out onto Uther, will be able to hit the drag. Greymane looking to engage out onto the Stukov, but is being zoned out by the Vala. Stitches versus Leoric in that middle lane. It looks like Leoric taking quite a bit of damage, but will try to heal off of the Stitches. Let's check the top lane. Zagara, being the early game bully that she is, will be doing very well up in that top lane. Vala and Stukov will be rotating off to their camps a little early, unfortunately, but not too early, as they are popping up now. They're going to be looking to hopefully see this objective in the top lane. It's Greymane rotating off to go grab his, as they will be hoping it'll be in the bottom lane, trying to stall as much as they can for their things to push in those lanes. Dahaka versus Uther in this bottom lane, but Dahaka is quite low on health. Will pop his trade. As you can see, it is in the bottom lane, so this is unfortunate for the side of Snitches gets Stitches. But this Greymane finally capturing that top siege camp will push out the top lane. Abathur rotating up to that top lane to soak as well, but has to keep in mind that the Zagara tumors are there, granting vision. Dahaka going to be able to grab that almost immediately with no delay. Will he be delayed? He will, from the Stitches and the Greymane combo. Leoric looking to hopefully zone out. Tassadar coming in from behind. Looking to get a little bit of extra damage out here. The hook coming out will land onto Leoric, but Leoric will spoopy walk away. Excellent silence from Stukov there. Dahaka looking to grab the Tassadar, but there is no follow-up damage. Vala now rotating in. Tassadar will be able to walk away. Leoric getting quite low now. The hook coming out, gonna land on Leoric. He will once again spoopy walk away. Greymane is now in a 1v3 situation, but Tassadar will go down from the Vala. Drag being missed here, but Stitches and Uther both silenced. This will prevent all the healing. An excellent follow-up from the Vala chase. Will be able to take down Stitches and Uther in that bottom lane. Leaving Zagara up in that top lane means it's a 4v4 there. Zagara pushing out this top lane now, meaning Abathur not able to get as much soak as he would like. Bottom fort will fall for the side of NightShade, so they're going to lose their bottom fort there. Leoric versus Tassadar in the middle lane. Tassadar looking to get as many of his quests that they can. I don't think my my thing worked, unfortunately, but that is okay. No worries here. Yes, okay, cool. We're all good. Alright, we have 3 members in this middle lane. They're going to be looking to land that hook out onto the Vala now. do see the quest coming out from Stukov as expected. This is going to be looking to give almost an ancestral healing onto their teammates. But Zagara sticking up in that top lane, applying a lot of pressure, is able to grab both towers already, as well as give them a full level lead. Now Leoric going in from a very aggressive position, will be looking to walk away. But Greymane, Tassadar, and Uther coming in from the different angle, looking to engage now. Will be looking to grab out onto the Stukov, but Leoric and Dahaka will be zoning them out. Dahaka looking for that drag. Will miss, unfortunately. Greymane engaging out onto the Stukov. Vala getting hooked from the Stitches. But Stukov will be able to walk away, but Uther getting silenced will deny the heals. Uther goes down. This means their healer is down, but thanks to Uther's trade, he is able to provide a lot of armor on a short cooldown and a lot of heals. We'll be able to keep that Stitches alive for quite some time, but Vala will be able to poke him down and take down the Stitches. Abathur rotating into the middle lane to try and get as much soak as he can there, as he is outclassed by the ever-pushing solo lane Zagara. Vala and Stukov will be rotating over here to grab their siege camp, as Zagara has almost successfully taken down the entire top fort. So both forts now almost being taken down, but Dahaka scouting out this boss capture from the side of NightShade will be requesting backup very soon, as he is unable to solo cap that. But Leoric, Stukov, and Vala are engaging. They're going to let that boss recap, but Vala engaging on it again. They are level 10. Dahaka looking to engage out onto the Greymane. Greymane getting stunned and silenced, will be taken down, and then they will engage out onto this camp. All right. Third objective is up for the side now. This means that if the side of Stitches are successful in capping this and crapping it, they will be able to get the curse, and that is exactly what happens here. So you see Zagara go up to that top lane, finish off that top fort, while the remaining members of Stitches will push out this middle lane. They're looking to grab that fort as well, as Abathur and Tassadar will try to clear up that bottom siege camp before it gets too much value here. It is a 4-level lead now for the side of Stitches, thanks to the Zagara push early on in that game. That gave them the EXP need that they needed. The EXP lead that they needed, rather. They're going to have all 3 forts down here and the tower walls now. They're waiting for that wall to come out so Stitches can land a hook, but Dahaka and Leoric are in the way. The drag coming out, but a wonderful cleanse. Nobody getting caught into that Untomb. Stitches getting pushed away from the massive shove. Vala looking to grab this middle keep, but will not be able, as the curse is now over. Leoric getting hooked, but will walk away with the spoopy walk. Uther looking to engage out, but the Leoric is now being slowed. If anybody is going to die, it's probably the best that it is Leoric, thanks to his trait. So Zagara looking to push out a little bit more now. She does have her Nidus network, so she'll be looking to get as much creep as all over the place as she can. As you can see, she's teleporting up to that top lane. They're going to be grabbing that boss now. They're going to be successful in grabbing that top boss, but as you can see, the side of NightShade will be grabbing that bottom boss, hopefully looking to prevent that rotation. Dahaka coming in very aggressively, but is zoned out from the wall. Dahaka being hooked into the boss. He is in a 1v4 situation. Will hop on, pop his isolation on there. Will deny the cap, but not enough time for Leoric to come in. They will be able to cap that boss. The Greymane will pop his cursed bullet. They'll be able to grab that Stukov as well. As this, the EXP they were looking for, might be the case, as they are now only 2.5 levels behind, rather than that 4 they were earlier. They capped 2 kills and that boss, but Zagara is pushing out that top lane now. with that boss, but that boss will be taken down before it grabs that keep, most likely, as Leoric will be the one to finish off this boss. Uther will Hearth here as Vala solos that camp there in the bottom lane. Scar looking to rotate up with Dahaka to grab this bruiser camp. And that's exactly what they will be doing. Might be on my end, but I'm hearing your audio flawless, whatever. Yeah. Alrighty. Leoric, Stukov, and Vala looking to engage out here. Luckily for them, the objective spawns right beside them. Abathur able to scout that out thanks to his mines there. But Leoric will be zoning out for their team. Gonna pop the spoopy wall, the spoopy hand out onto the Snitches. The wonderful Entomb trapping them into a very tight space. The Vala with the Rain of Vengeance going to be being used, but Stukov will fall. The shrine is captured. This isolation going out onto the Snitches. Snitches taking a lot of damage, is very low, but will be healed from Uther. They're looking to engage out onto the Leoric. Leoric will go down. That is a 2-for-0 trade, but they do lose the shrine, as this middle bruiser camp will be pushing out onto this middle keep now. Now, probably will, maybe not. It might go down here as this other wave is now pushing in with the camp, but no, looks like that will be able to go to be fine. Stitches falling in the middle lane as he's left alone there for a little bit. Bottom keep now under some pressure as the siege camp is now in here, but Dahaka and Vala will be grabbing the opposing team's bruiser camp, and that will push out the middle keep, most likely grabbing that middle keep. Tassadar gonna be able to scout that out here, but is too late. The Entomb being used will only hit the Greymane, as Greymane Curse Bullet being used will zone off the Leoric. Leoric getting quite low now, though. Dahaka using his dig to get up to that top lane will be able to capture that curse, no problem. As Zagara applies a little bit of pressure into that top lane as well. Middle keep almost down. Zagara now in the bottom lane, looking to push out as many lanes as she can here. They are level 16 to the opposing Nightshade's level 14. So if they're looking for a fight, it should be now. They want to grab as much lane pressure as they can here. The Leoric Entomb might be up, but the wall going out and the wall, sorry. Oh god, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place right now. The wall will be used and will not be able to grab, will be successful in zoning out as the Dahaka uses his tongue and misses. An excellent burrow from the Dahaka will be able to dodge the hook here. Wall being used to zone out again. But the massive shove pushing their only tank all the way back to the keep here. The tongue coming out from Dahaka will be unsuccessful once again, but Greymane is now in a very bad spot. But the clone from Abathur will be looking to engage out onto the Vala, but Vala healed up quite a bit. Divine Shield going out onto the Greymane. Greymane is going to be looking to chase down this Vala, the Zagara. Will be successful in grabbing the Zagara, but will lose his life. But as you can see, the middle keep goes down now, and they have this curse. So they'll be looking to push down any of the other keeps here. Most likely this bottom one, as Abathur is now pushing out that bottom lane. So they're rotating in. They are looking to end this game. No, they're going to look up to grab that top keep. Now, ending the game here would probably not be a very good idea, because they do have 3 seconds until Greymane is back up. Both teams are at the level 16 talent here, but they are able to grab that top keep here without too many problems. Dahaka looking to engage, does miss the drag, unfortunately. They're going to be looking to grab out this bottom keep as well. Curse Bullet going out onto the Dahaka. Snitches using Bile to zone out, but an excellent Entomb will deny that. Vala will go with the Rain of Vengeance, stunning a couple of members. Dahaka trying to escape, might not be able to make it, uses the drag as a last bit of effort, but Stukov getting hooked will also be taken down. That's 2 members going down. To the side of Snitches get Stitches. They're going to be looking to grab out onto the Leoric. Can Leoric get away? It doesn't look like he's going to be able to as Greymane keeps chasing him down. That's 3 members taken down. This will allow NightShade to grab this boss. Now, 2 of the 3 keeps have been taken down for the side of Snitches get Stitches. This bottom fort almost taken down. Vala getting quite low here. We'll be able to grab that as they, oh, excuse me, grab this boss here. I really need to get some water. I haven't had any water to these 3 casts. I do need to get some. So the boss will push out the bottom lane, but this fort is quite healthy, as well as a siege camp and Zagara down there. Most likely this fort will not fall. Or maybe it might, because it is quite a bit late into the game, but we do have a couple of members now coming in here, so this fort will most likely go down, but it won't get too much further than that. Alright, top being pushed out by the waves. Abathur does need to be cautious here. Now, they are looking to engage out onto the opposing team's boss. But as you can see, the level lead has completely disappeared now. They are only down by about a half a level at this point. Thanks to all those kills. As you can see, they're even on kills now. As Zagara's value has lost, as Zagara has lost a lot of value getting later into this game. She's a very, very early game bully now. They're going to be looking to grab this bottom keep, but Leoric will be zoning out, getting stuck into a bad spot. Might need to spooky walk away. The hook coming out is unsuccessful in hitting the Leoric. Now, Zagara has that global ult, meaning that she can be anywhere that she wants at any time.
The choice is simple.
Stitches might be looking for a putrid bile play here, but we'll get the spooky hand onto him from Leoric, doing a lot of damage to him, as I believe he did pick up that percent-based health. Yes, it is. The hook coming out will land on the Dahaka. Dahaka forced to burrow here right away. Will pop the isolation onto Uther. Excellent target for him. Greymane going to be able to take down Dahaka, though. Vala looking to poke in at the Stitches. The hook coming out, landing on the Vala. Excellent hook. We'll be able to take down the Vala, though. This is 2 more members. They're going to have to back to that core, as both lanes, the top and the middle lane, are being pushed out quite heavily. So they will most likely be able to clear up these waves without any, I can't think of the word anyway. Without any problem. There we go. God. As Zagara grabs that that top siege, it's just something that they have to deal with now, and then walks away thanks to her Nidus network. Hey Magic, thanks for showing in. How's it going, dude? Alright, so you see now level 20 actually being reached first from the side of NightShade. So they're looking to grab this top boss and apply a little bit of pressure here. But as you can see, 3 members from the side of Snitches Get Stitches are looking to cheese that bottom keep, and that's what they do. So they have 3 lanes of pressure now, pushing into that core. But as you can see now, 2 members at least, 3 members now hearthing back. It doesn't look like actually just Greymane hearthing back to defend, as the objective spawns right beside the boss that they were just at. So now they do have vision of Vala. Vala needs to be careful as not to get hooked. Losing Vala right here would be devastating. Dahaka going in to deny that. The hook coming out won't land. Burrow now is no longer. Curse Bullet going out will be unsuccessful. He's going to pop his isolation. Excellent stun from the Vala. She is being chased. An excellent pick off by the Greymane. Greymane looking to engage out as well, but might die to the tower. An excellent divine shield being used to save him. He will walk away. Vala is down now, which means this top fort go down quickly. An excellent Leoric Entomb will deny the escape of Uther, and Stitches, but as you can see, the core is being taken down by those catapults. They're going to be able to grab 3 more members. Is this what Snitches Get Stitches was looking for? It seems to me like Greymane thinks so, as he is saying the premature GGs, but in my opinion, this is definitely the case. As you can see, most of the shields have already been taken down, and they have 4 members going to be attacking that core, but Leoric is getting quite low, but are they going to be able to grab the Uther here? Maybe not, thanks to the shields. He might be able to walk away. No, Uther taken down. This will definitely secure the win for the side of Snitches Get Stitches. What a roller coaster of experience in this game. As you saw, Snitches Get Stitches having that 4-level lead. The level 12 versus the level 8. And then all of a sudden, it's level 20 to level 19 for the side of NightShade. But thanks to their early game pressure, they were able to get those forts down and those keeps down, which allowed them to push in and apply so much pressure into that lane, into those lanes, eventually pressuring their core down, I believe, almost 50%, if not more. Excellent game. Beautiful hooks from the side of Stitches. Unfortunately, was not enough. This means that game number 3 goes to the side of Snitches Get Stitches.